Hello and welcome to my podcast, Conversations with Cornelius, where I, Cornelius Patrick O'Sullivan, discuss, chat and hypothesize on all things from fatherhood, marriage, comedy and everything else in between. From time to time, there will be special guests, but mostly it's going to be me and some regular contributors, including my main squeeze, Noelle Patricia O'Sullivan, aka the wife. So sit back, relax and enjoy Conversations with Cornelius. Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode of Conversations with Cornelius. I'm your host, Cornelius Patrick O'Sullivan, a human living on planet Earth. If you're listening in a different galaxy, get in contact. I don't know if you have Gmail over there. You might only have Hotmail. I have a Hotmail account as well, but I never check it.
Do you have a Hotmail?
My Hotmail account is conosullivan@hotmail.com.
Ooh.
That's how
early
I got into the game. I think it was 2 N's as well, but I don't check it, so don't even bother sending me an email, lads. If you are sending me an email from a different planet, it's it's corneliusthecomic@gmail.com. That's what you'll get me, like, do you know? Where am I? I'm in the John Hume War Room. When am I? It's Friday.
Feels Sunday-esque now, doesn't
There's
it?
a touch of the Sunday about it, alright, isn't there? Well, it's because you're off as well. And is this your Saturday night?
Yeah.
I know it's a Friday night, but for those of you who don't know, today's guest works shift, and for that she just goes around shifting lads. And I'm kind of going around, give us 50 quid for that there, and we'll be haggling. You know, we'll do anything from 20 to 50. So yeah, where am I? Who am I? What am I? I don't know what I am. I'm going to just introduce this week's guest, bring her onto the stage. For those of you who are regular listeners, they'll already have recognised you with your dulcet little kind of jingly laugh, you know. And backed by popular demand, regular podcast contributor, my main squeeze, my best friend, the Queen, aka the wife, Noelle Patricia O'Sullivan Ní Muracú. How are you, babe?
I'm great.
Great.
I'm laughing because, you know, the way we were saying today about podcasts, and they all need to be filmed, and that's the way forward with podcasts. Do you have your mic down low again?
Well, I'm not talking now. You see, I'm talking there now. Like, I don't.
I know, but you forget to bring it back up.
Yeah.
And I sound like the loud one. And I am loud, but you are also loud. So when we do the sound check, we are the same loudness. And then when I listen to it at editing stage, I'm way higher than you.
Okay.
But anyway,
so that could be just like lack of self-awareness on your behalf, because like you're saying I'm loud, but like this contraption here that we record our conversations are. It's not a sentient being. It just deals in facts.
Yeah, but if I start talking with this down here, then suddenly who's in the right and who's in the wrong? Just so you know, the mic is now much further down off my face, and that's where Connie has it on his beard, thinking that it's still on his lip.
It's touching my lip.
It is now.
Yeah. Put your foot.
It's back now again. So, sorry.
Yeah,
I rudely interrupted my own self.
Yeah,
I'm hilarious.
It's very you're on fire, girl. You're on fire. I know. What are you drinking tonight?
I only had 2 sips of wine, because actually somebody told me, they said they heard the last one, and by somebody I mean my brother, Carl, said that I was far more cutting in the one we did on the Sunday morning when I had no drink taken.
Yeah, but also that was a Sunday morning. Fucking
nobody said I was more sharper, like, so it was just more banter, like, obviously
banter, ladies and gentlemen.
But what was I saying? Yeah, so the thing I was saying was about that a lot of the podcasts are recorded now, and especially, you know, I'm saying for Tree by the Lee or for this podcast, I was like, you need to start recording them, whatever. And
when you're saying recording them now, you mean videoing them,
filming,
making reels and
TikToks. And TikTok, and just part of the conversation then or whatever. But I was like, could you cut to me now if you were to be.
But like honestly,
this,
I've seen
like,
so
I
many.
have-
Honestly, though, this is the thing, right? You're dead right. First of all, reels and fucking TikToks and social media is undoubtedly the way to promote a podcast.
Yeah.
But like, excuse me. But it doesn't, like, once the background is done. I've done one reel to promo this now, and I'm going to start doing a few more now as we go along throughout the summer. But it doesn't matter what you look like. It really doesn't. I've seen like.
I know, yeah, but like
just
Peg
to give
Sayers vibe that's going on
I
now.
was just about to give a description of you. You're like Peg Sayers, but like who found a hoodie. Someone came back from the future
and said, "Here's a Dunn's hoodie there for you, a lovely
throw
pink,
it on there,
covers your arse, and you
Yeah.
can still have a hoodie."
And she's like, "I'll put it on me anyway. If I suppose life is shit, I may as well wear the hoodie." And and then like you're just kind of hunched over in the glasses and yeah, but like
and the shawl over the hoodie.
I'm not much better. I have a fucking blanket on me.
Why did we show? Why are we doing the podcast in here when the sitting room was roasting?
In the John Hume War Room. It's just easier to get set up, and to be honest, I put the heating on a bit too late.
Okay.
We're in March in Ireland in what day is it today? 10th March, and it's freezing. There's a yellow forecast warning across the country. There's snow all over the country. Where we're living is grand.
There's snow in the mountains, alright, on the mountains.
Snow in the mountains, but like I don't think we have any plans to go up those mountains at the moment.
No.
So, like,
well, not
letting the dog out to go for a shit is a big thing. Is a big movement for me at the moment.
Should I change this chair?
Why?
Or is the squeaking? The squeaking, if you're hearing a squeak in the background, that's this chair. And actually, I was editing or listening to one podcast. Who did you have on? And they were like, "How am I sitting on this shitty chair again?" Was it Pete?
Peter. Yeah, the mine guy.
I'm on it now, Pete. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, just
It's
respect the
comfy.
chair, okay? Just respect the chair. It's done nothing to you. Do you know what I mean?
It's held many an arse.
It's held many a bottom. I want to say thank you to all the patrons of this podcast. New patron.
You're welcome.
You're very welcome. Thank you so. Oh, thank you. My wife is also a patron, but you're the test patron. You're
I
the
need
first
to.
person.
Yeah, I need to cancel it.
No. Leave it. Keep it coming true. Keep it coming true.
Oh, yeah.
Keep those numbers up. But actually, all jokes aside, we're getting caught for commission on that.
Yeah,
So maybe stop. Maybe stop it. All right. But no, I want to say
imagine
thanks.
paying VAT on my own money that I put in. So I'd pay tax obviously on the money I earn, and then you pay VAT on it, and then pay tax on it, all into the same
I don't even
pocket.
want to get drawn into a VAT and tax conversation now. I had to register for VAT there recently, and it is a horrid experience, a painful experience. So I don't even want to think about it. I've just tried to stop thinking about money now, because do you know when like you're just take 40%, take 23% as well, what's left? €1, is it? All right, okay. And is that a clean euro? Yeah, that's a clean euro.
Yeah.
All right, okay. I only worked 40 hours for that euro. But anyway, thank you to the patrons, thank you to the regular listeners as well. Keep liking and sharing and subscribing, and if you're enjoying it, tag me and I'll reshare it on my page, and tell everybody and tell your cousins and tell your aunts and say, Jesus, have you ever listened to Conversations with Cornelius? It's absolutely brilliant. Your man now, I could fucking give or take, but the guests that I have on, they're absolutely unbelievable.
Did I say that on here before about one of the girls from work that was like, I went to bed listening to your husband and I woke up listening and I will listen to him again. I said, Jesus Christ,
That's because we're having an affair. Like.
I said, you're spending more time in the bed with my husband than I am, considering I'm in Hunter's bed most of the time.
Yeah. And because I'm having an affair with her as well. Who is it?
She's a younger version of me.
Brilliant, perfect, my type. Trending topics with Cornelius Patrick O'Sullivan. New team tune. Thoughts?
No.
You prefer the old one? Trending topics with Cornelius Patrick O'Sullivan. Whereas this new one is Trending Topics with Cornelius Patrick O'Sullivan.
That's like sing from the church. From Mass or something.
Dong.
No. Did it say your new one again?
Trending Topics with Cornelius Patrick O'Sullivan.
I've lost it now. We'll have to go to
What
Mass.
fucking church are you going to?
Not many. Okay, trending topics. Go for it, Cornelius.
Okay, so
I feel I should put a disclaimer. I've heard no news.
well, this is the crack now. I'm
In
going to tell you what's
a
trending.
week.
I absolutely am in the same situation as you. Maybe slightly a little bit more red, only from the fact that I chose these and I know what they are. But I'd be the same thing as you. But we're just looking for our opinion, your
Okay, my
opinion,
love.
irrespective of what is going on. And I like always to say this on the podcast when I'm doing trending topics, because sometimes people go, "Oh, that's so misinformed. You don't know what you're talking about." And I would say, "You're right. Yeah,
Yeah,
spot
I
on.
don't.
Spot on. Very astute. Well observed."
We are not giving our opinion for anyone else to take it.
We
we
are
were-
willing
we-
to be wrong. We are willing for. We are
We will
willing
not be able to argue this opinion outside of
No, I'll argue
here.
it. I'd like whether I'll make sense is
no.
another story.
Yeah,
Do you
whereas
know
I
what mean?
wouldn't argue. I no.
Hashtag International Woman's Day. That was trending.
Well,
there.
I have a vagina, so I suppose I can talk about this topic.
And I've seen it, so I can confirm to the listeners out there that we do have a.
We
are
are-
you a carrying vagina holder? You see, if we were recording this now, if this was being recorded, this would go viral. Husband and wife talk about wife's vagina.
Oh, stop!
Okay.
I said vagina first, so I'm stuck now. I
Yeah,
can't
you
even
kind of
tell
brought
you
up
to
the
stop.
whole
I
vagina
did.
thing.
Yeah.
The whole vagina monologue.
World International Women's Day.
But that's not just what separates a woman from a man, is it? Just the vagina? There's different.
No, but it was interesting because we had our first like. I'm intrigued by the children's ability to differentiate between boys and girls are better and boys are better and whatnot. And obviously we're a boys only house, so I don't know, but I would think it's probably the same on the same side for girls who are girly and boys who are boyy, that are like Harvey'd go, "Oh no, that's just for girls," or "No, boys are better." Like
Hunter's
things
going
that
around the place calling him a girl he's like, "I'm a girl." He's at me 2 or 3 times during the week. I was like,
I
"Okay."
actually think he's confused between who's a boy and who's a girl.
I was like, "No problem. What's your name?" Hunter.
Yeah, no, but anyway, he can be whoever he wants to be. But
But I think, I really do. Now, without getting into a transgender conversation, I think it's no one's fucking business. I really do.
No.
If you, whoever you want to be, just be it. But anyway, go on,
But anyway,
International
yeah.
Women's Day.
so Harvey, how did it come up? But he was saying something about girls, or I don't want. That's only girls. That's only
Yeah.
for girls, or that's only girls.
I've heard about that racket.
I'm like, what do you mean? I said, what are you talking about? Only girls. I said, some of your favorite.
Only fans, Harvey.
I said, some of your favorite people are women, aren't
Yeah,
they?
True.
Some of your favorite people. Yeah, but like that's because you're my mom. That's because Nan's my nan and Nana Monica's my nana. And I said, yeah, but so we're your and we're women. So your favorite people are women. I said, you can't say only for girls, or that's just for girls, or I said, I go and I work and I do everything that any other guy can do. I said, boys and girls are the same. I said, you might have different interests and different people, but that's because people have different interests. And like, he's like a sponge for any information like that, isn't he? Like, and he's a real, like, you can, as I say, he's a sponge, so you can literally kind of influence him.
You can influence them, yeah.
Yeah.
And like, and it's a very powerful tool that we have, actually. And it's like, to quote Spider-Man, with great power comes great responsibility, because it is a very powerful thing we have, and it is you have to be, quite responsible. Like I have a bit of a potty mouth. I was talking to a comedian about this today, and we're both going to actively try and swear less when we're on stage, but around the house here I have a bit of a potty mouth, and Hunter told me the other day that Baxter pissed in the Back to the pissed on the carpet, Dad. He's 3, like. Pissed is not a word that I'm happy with him knowing, like, you know, and using it correctly as well. On the pissed on the carpet, Dad. I was like, or Baxter pissed. Yeah, we're getting mixed up as well at home.
We've
discovered
our
dog and our
people have told us, people previously had said that Hunter's a bit of a dog's name, and now that we have a dog, we 100% understand why people were saying that Hunter is potentially a dog's name. But anyway, but I was still saying something. But actually, back to, so let's forget the kids and back to International Women's Day.
What is it?
Think what
is it actually? What is it? Is it just an acknowledgement of and I say is it just flippantly, but like, is it a day that, you know, acknowledges what women do for society?
I actually think you're probably right in how you describe it, because I would think that a lot of people who are real advocates of women's rights would shun a single awareness day.
Yeah.
Because it's people, you know, like waving a flag for women, but who behind it may not be supporting women at all. You know, it might be just to tick the box.
Yeah. And
a lot of those kind of awareness things are, you know, you think you put up a multicolour flag and suddenly you're LGBTQ plus friendly as a company, you know, but you're not, like.
But you're just doing it for the good PR.
Yeah, or ticking a box, yeah.
So
I think
I think Ireland is fucking codding itself. I think we're the most misogynistic, racist, homophobic, xenophobic fucking people going. I genuinely think, like,
I don't know about that. I suppose
in comedy clubs, right? In comedy clubs, you'll find a section of people who are generally quite open-minded. Particularly comedians. There's like comedians on the spectrum from, you know, from straight white middle-aged.
Yeah, I suppose it has a diverse.
Do you know what I mean? There's great diversity.
It's the arts, like, so it's it draws a diverse.
And it also draws crowds that are generally open-minded, especially clubs, not solo gigs per se. Excuse me, now I'm burping as I try to make
beautiful.
My point. But from my experience of outside of that environment, in conversations that I've heard in the locality that I live in, and when I say that, I'm talking about, you know, Mallow, Killavullen, Cork, County Cork,
Kerry, anywhere, like, yeah,
I'm not talking specifically Mallow is very racist. I'm talking in general.
You meet a wide variety of people.
Especially with men, right? And I'm certainly not one of these vocal guys going around going, yeah, man, do you know, I'm a total feminist. Do you know what I mean? Because I actually hate women. I think you should be put back in your box. And I'm clearly joking about that. But I do. But no, the general consensus.
Only if we want to be tied up, baby.
Oh, let's pause this podcast now.
Oh, stop with you.
Should we be back again in a minute? But
30 seconds.
Yeah, twice. We'll go twice. But
the hamstring will be gone.
The fucking yeah.
Go on.
Yeah, I just lie on my back. You do all the work. When you brought it up, I don't know where was I going with this. Oh, it was I had a
useless anyway.
I had a great point.
Oh, you were on about racism in.
Oh yes.
General public.
So like I've just fucking encountered silly little racist remarks that the person that's saying it doesn't even know they're being racist, doesn't even know they're being sexist, doesn't even know they're being misogynistic, and like it's not. And I certainly don't correct them either. Now I don't think it's my responsibility to correct people like that, especially if you do as well. You're kind of, and maybe this is the wrong thing to do, but like if you hear someone, right. If you were at a GA match, right, for example, I'll give you a fictitious scenario. If you were at a GA match.
Fictitious scenario. Aren't we very intellectual on this Friday?
I'm still off the drink as well, and you're drinking, so I feel like I feel a little smug, although I did take a little edible today, so, and I was out of my fucking trolley there for about an hour. Do I have to get the dosage right? So fucking strong.
No. Stop. The dosage is fine. Like, as in you take one, it's fine.
Like I couldn't. There's no way I could have driven tonight. Like, do you know what I mean? That's what I'm trying to say.
But that was the top-up one. That's what we
I'll have to get rid of the top-up one. But anyway, fictitious scenario. Okay, you're at a match. Okay, you're standing at the match. Harvey and Hunter are standing with you. I'm standing with you, and you hear someone being, misogynistic. Just another family.
Okay, so can I ask? Let's get the scenario. Are they speaking to somebody on the pitch? Are they speaking within our circle? Are they saying?
I'll give you a scenario again, fictitious, right? Just made up, right? Let's just say a player goes down injured, and the physio runs in, and it's a young girl, and she's a good-looking girl, and she's running into the pitch, and some fella goes, "Look, Jesus Christ, look at the arse in your one there, fucking hell." Means nothing by it in the greater scheme of things, right? But it is quite a. And I'm not saying that
I would probably at this stage go, all right, lad.
Would you?
Yeah, I think at this stage I'd probably, if it was close enough.
Would you? Okay, that's cool.
I think I'd probably.
I don't think.
You see, I think a man to a man, it becomes confrontational as well. I think it's looked at differently coming from a woman to, or like, like I think a man on man, it's like, huh, what the fuck are you saying about? Like, whereas it's when a woman is saying, it's just checking. I think it's how you say it. Like,
is it how you say it, or is it the words though? Do you know what I mean?
Both, but that is how you say it. A combination of your tone and your words. That's what I would say. Like how you say it and what you say, like together.
And if the scenario is reversed, then right, if there's a couple of women and there's a fella goes down and his leg has been lifted up for a hamstring and he's got a gorgeous pair of quadriceps, right? And
I know, and I know what you. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, and because I've heard it works both ways. Like, do you know what I mean?
And that's the next level, I'd say, and I'd say we're probably so far behind that.
Yeah.
But it is. Yeah.
Like, and rightly so, a woman might say to me, "Do you know what? No, you're grand. We put up with an awful lot of shit. You can put up with a little bit of that." Do you know?
Yeah, I think it's just the evolution of it that I suppose we're behind, because that wouldn't be seen as an issue, like but it goes to.
Well, most men would only laugh that off and genuinely think it's hilarious. But like, if it's reversed the other way around, it does make a woman feel quite.
But there is a side that you have to relate to the strength of a man versus a woman, and that scenario, and the amount of men raping women versus the amount of women raping men.
Yeah.
You know, like, so there is a predator style to a man talking about a woman, and a woman, like, even I know, like, not quite now, but when I was at my strongest and my fittest,
last week,
I still couldn't take on a man, and I know that because I had
a good run for my money. Now I'm weak enough. I'd say you would.
So is it weight versus? So is it weight versus strength, right? So there's a point, right? So right.
I think you're strong though. I think you're strong for a woman. Like I agree with your point.
Yeah.
I totally agree with your point. Like the fairer sex, the weaker sex. You're talking about physicality, and I get your point. I get your point, and it has to be.
So there, So look, let's forget about the whole whether I was stronger then or now.
Do 10 press-ups there.
But I was stronger then, and then I would have been able to press up. I would have been able to lift weights. I would have been stronger.
Yeah.
Gym-wise, definitely stronger. And I was overtaken by a man. This was in a joking match in a sitting room. Like, you know, it was play fight. It was literally play fighting as adults going, who's stronger, like, do you know, that's kind of way.
Listen, and the sex parties you used to attend before you met me, all right, they're in your past, and I respect you for that, and as our agreement is, if you ever want to start them up again, let me know.
So then it was, and I found that surprising and worrying in a sense that, right, I'm fit, strong, running, CrossFit, this was peak now, and then I could be still overtaken easily enough by a man, like, so. I get it, so to that point,
I actually get that point, because I would have been in scenarios myself. Like, I remember being in like scenarios in nightclubs. Well, one particular night in particular one particular night in particular, one particular evening, I remember it vividly. I knew it was going to kick off in a nightclub. And I knew that there was a guy there who didn't like me for whatever reasons. And I won't get into it. And I could see him looking at me and getting his kind of crew together.
Ready to.
And I was out with two friends of mine who were living with me in Elm Court at the time, Ivan and Peter. I don't know if I ever said this to you before. And I remember I had bought a new coat that week. Like, it was a fucking cool jacket. And you know me, I'm not into buying clothes. And I was delighted. And I remember seeing them. And I remember thinking to myself, if I go back and get my coat, they're going to get me. But if I go now, I'm going to get out of here and I'll get away from this danger, this imminent danger.
Yes.
And I remember making the decision to leave the coat and just go. And this was before mobile phones were. No, like,
pick up my coat, will you? It's 453 or
exactly. And but it was my coat was, I remember it was left on a, down in a kind of a bundle. And this is back now when there wasn't smoking in nightclubs.
Yeah.
Anyway, I remember I got out of there anyway. And I remember the lads came back about a half an hour later and they brought back the coat. Ivan brought back the coat. And I was like, oh my God, I'm so delighted. And he goes, geez, you missed a big fight.
Oh, yeah,
and a huge fight taking off. And I remember, but my point is, I know what that feeling is like, because I remember going, I'm going to get I'm going shit hammered out of me here.
Yeah.
And a woman has that all the time. Would have that a lot of the time, especially walking at night in dark streets and all that kind of carry on.
Well, you're vulnerable, like.
Yeah, and nobody likes to be vulnerable.
Yeah, and it's so we're kind of we've strayed off the point, I suppose, have we? But
well, we're only just talking about the hashtag.
Oh yeah,
really
so I suppose, and then we went on to the match and the different scenarios. So I suppose women are learning too, because we do have to. There are sides to the reverse scenario that need to be addressed. The likes of male spousal abuse and things like that happen as well, and need to definitely have a light shone on them. Yeah. And probably women. What is it? Fornicating, or what's the term? Over men.
What is this?
When you're like oogling or ogling, or what's the fucking over men, like, watching, like.
Oh, like fucking objectifying men.
Yes,
is it?
yeah.
I didn't know what you were.
There was another term I couldn't think of. There.
No, it is mostly a male thing. Like, it is definitely.
But there is. But like, as women have progressed in power and in inequality and thing, women have started to objectify men. Yeah. More openly.
Yeah, but it happens a lot to me. Like, I'm objectified.
I'd say you can't walk down the street.
It's very difficult for me.
Yeah.
No, do you know what? A lot of the time I'm like, oh look, they're holding it back there now intentionally. Like,
they're just builders.
Yeah, that's just female builders. They'll be plastering walls. They'll be like, oh, hashtag schniakta.
Oh, schnackta.
For those of you who don't know what schniakta is, if you're listening in a different country, schniakta is the Gaelic word, the Irish word for snow. I love the word schnackta.
It's like a snot. Someone dropped a bit of freezing cold snot out the nostril. If Hunter's snot's just froze there now, that are seeping out of his nose for the last week. Dripping.
Solidifying.
Yeah.
Becoming a part of his face.
Just into the mouth. But yeah, snachta. So we got no snow, which was great. It was cold. Didn't go the mountain road on the way home the last day.
Don't either.
But yeah, we had none of it. So yeah.
Delighted.
Uneventful is probably how I term the snachta at the moment.
I like the word schniakta though. I like some Irish words. Some of the Irish they're beautiful words, like schniakta, the way it's pronounced, or darug. Or bui.
Do you know what we really need to do actually is Harvey loves Irish.
He does.
You need to start talking to him.
I do talk away to him.
Yeah.
I have the couple of fuckle with him. Like,
yeah, because he literally would be ni malum.
Yeah, ni malum.
Usually he doesn't like something. Yeah, but like if it'd be lovely if we were able to go came for ni malun too on.
I sincerely wouldn't mind.
Oberwalla, like the actual words. I don't know. I missed them.
I sincerely wouldn't mind I think the way Irish was taught in school was so, like for me anyway, was so regimented and there was no joy.
Actually,
excuse me, there was no joy in the learning of it, and I do.
Did you
like
have
the language.
who's on? Is it Fred Cook? Is he on the Gaeltacht thing program? Who's in the program? What comedian is in the?
I think I saw Fred Cook in it.
Yeah, so it'd be interesting because actually that came up about how Irish was spoken.
Yeah.
So you'd be seeing him tomorrow night.
Yes.
You could.
And by the time you're listening to this, he'll be gone, so you won't be able to go to buy tickets.
Yeah,
but if you are looking to come to the Coke Club, buy tickets for the following week. We've got Mike Morgan in, not on the Friday, on the day after, the Saturday.
Saturday after Paddy's, but so Fred Cook is in. Was in on Saturday or is in on tomorrow night. It's Friday to us, but yeah, you can ask him about that.
I will.
The Gaeltacht. They went to the Gaeltacht for the weekend. I know that was a tagline from the show, which isn't out yet.
Hashtag Gary Lineker.
Oh, I don't know why he's in the paper.
Interesting, right? So Gary Lineker did a tweet. I know a little bit about this, right? He did a tweet about, so the government in England is a very right-wing government, which is a very protect the rich tax.
Babe, we have a problem.
What? You've no wine?
Yeah. Wait 1 second.
All right, okay.
Tell him a poem.
All right, okay.
Pick a poem.
Hurry on there, son. I'll just talk away. Look, ladies and gentlemen, I suppose it's about time I kind of came to the realization that Noelle clearly has an issue with the alcohol. She has the two hands and she only has the one mouth. Ba-dum-bumps. Yes, I'm here all week. Try to veal. I don't know. No, she kind of put me on the spot there. I don't know what to say to you, really. Like when you're just kind of put on the spot very randomly. It's Friday night. I'm in the John Hume War Room. I'm not gigging tonight. I've taken tonight off to spend it with my family, spend it with my boys this afternoon, watching Avatar. Never watched Avatar before. She's come back here now. She's got the wine. She's looking happy. She's got the sweets. Yeah. So Avatar, I'd highly recommend it, even though I've only seen about a third of it. But I'm sucked in already. But I'm watching it on a really small television as well. Noelle's like, oh, for fuck's sake, you should be watching this in the cinema. But anyway, she's back. She's got the wine, and I'm going to go.
Do you miss me?
Oh,
I'm glad I moved actually, because I'm starting to get pins and needles in my body.
Like a hole in the head. Gary Lineker, right? So let me tell you about Gary Lineker, right? So Gary Lineker did a tweet during the week where he compared the British government to the Nazi government in 1939.
Oh, Jesus.
Because of their policies on immigration, right? And it got so bad now that the BBC have suspended him.
Oh.
Right? And
fuck off.
they've suspended him, right, for tweeting, this is an opinion now, right, on his own personal Twitter. And now, I only saw this evening, Ian Wright, Ian Wright, the former footballer, he now is not going to go on out of solidarity. And Alan Shearer, who also was on, have said they are not going to go on out of solidarity.
Oh, they're nice boys, all right.
They're standing by their friend. But it's cancel culture is what it is. It's like he's being cancelled for his opinion because it doesn't fit the rhetoric of the establishment, which is a dangerous thing. I just
it's
wonder.
Like propaganda and everything.
Well,
isn't
propaganda
it?
is when you're kind of like making up lies about your enemies, and like propaganda in the 1940s was like Jewish people are thieves and they're
well, it's also manipulating the media.
It's part of it, definitely. But this is very, because he's a national hero. Gary Lineker's like,
yeah, he's huge. I loved, like.
And you know what? Like, he's actually a good guy at heart. Like, he's a left socialist guy. Like, not saying that socialists are the way forward, but he's like.
But what if he came out? Would you feel the same if he came out and said, England should just be the English, England should only be people who live in England, and we shouldn't have immigration?
I would disagree with that opinion, but I'm happy for him to be able to make his opinion, and I certainly don't think he should be cancelled, your job should be put in jeopardy because you're expressing your opinion, which is, so I think everybody should be able to voice their opinion in a civilized society. And whether I agree with his opinion on this particular, which I happen to do agree with, whether I do or don't, I still think you should be allowed to say safely what, as long as it's not inflammatory, as long as it's not going to incite violence, you know, then, you know, it's free speech. But it's just interesting. Look, we're nearly finished, but I have 3 questions for you tonight.
Oh yeah, I'm fine. But that's actually really interesting about it raises a big kind of dilemma in a way, because you've the likes of J.K. Rowling, and I actually don't know enough about why she's now no longer like,
well, her thing is transgender.
Yeah, but yeah, she's against that, but I don't have examples and stuff. That's what I mean.
I don't know exactly what she said as well, but it's
but like
it's anti.
Yeah, but like
the acknowledgement of transgender people, without me knowing the ins and outs.
Yeah,
of it
and now I know it doesn't matter whether
but
one person.
No,
but one person. What I mean is like one person, like me, being like, oh, I don't know if I want Harvey to get into Harry Potter now. You know, just like.
Really? So because but see, I fucking think that's, I think that's silly then, because I think that some of the greatest art on this planet has been made by flawed humans. You know, and I think everybody. I actually think everybody is flawed. I think I'm flawed. I think there is nobody perfect, and I think cancel culture is inherently wrong. And if you make a mistake, you know, you have to be punished for that.
I don't
mistake.
think she like. It's not a one-liner.
Well, she's that's her opinion. And she certainly is entitled to an opinion, whether it's agreed with or not. It makes no difference to her bank balance at this stage of the races.
I know, and that's the thing.
And then
because there is the other side of it is in the world of Harry Potter. That's a beautiful world in a way. You know,
Well, I'm telling you now, it's interesting, right? Because I'm reading Harvey, the Billionaire Boy, at the moment, right? Written by David Walliams, right? You know, from Little Britain. Yeah. And the word fat is plastered all over the first 10-15 pages in a real kind of, and it was when as I was reading it, I think I actually brought Harvey out to the kitchen to tell you this, but as I was reading it, Harvey stopped me and goes, that's a bad word, Dad. And I was like, well, you know, I don't know, is it a bad word? It's just a word that we don't like to use in this house anyway, you know. And
that was in the book I bought him today as well, actually.
But it's not a bad word though. It's a word, it's a descriptive word.
I do think, I think it's how you look at the word fat.
Yeah.
It
can be triggering certainly for certain people, but like, I don't know, you could just like what are you going to do?
What if somebody said, I love fat bellies?
I love fat bellies. If someone said that, is it?
Yeah, but like
you must love me.
But you know what I mean, as in like as you said, it's a descriptive word. Like it's I love small bellies, I love fat bellies. Like I love big feet, I love small feet. Like it's the same thing. Like Harvey said to me the last day, I never told you this. Harvey said to me, "Are you sure you're not growing another baby? Your belly's really squidgy." I said, "My belly's really squidgy because I had the 2 farts inside there, and you know what? I don't care." So my belly's squidgy. Who cares? My belly's my belly. Yeah. It's big. It's fat. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
You know, and that's what it's not taking away words, random words, because it's the feeling behind. Because there's another word for fat, like it's big. You know?
Enormous. That's
enormous.
What
they want to change the Rodale.
Yeah.
But actually, just on books, if anyone has a kid that doesn't like reading, and is like Harvey's 6. I picked this book up in Aldi today, and it's the dinosaur that pooped a planet, and literally the dinosaur poops at the end of it, like, and shits out fucking everything he ate basically, and gets poo all over the city and the streets as they're landing back to Earth from the moon. But like, I've never ever seen Harvey so happy reading a book. Now I was reading it, but like literally he wanted to read it again, and I said, right, if you want to read it again, you have to read the first 2 pages. Like he read them. Now I had to prompt him in parts, whatever. That doesn't matter. He read them. But it's great for 6-year-olds, 5-6-year-olds, I'd say. Yeah. But it's in Aldi at the moment. But just that just came up. And even going to bed tonight, he said, can we read the book again in the morning? I was like,
No.
Dad will read it with you.
Hashtag Aldi. Get all your stuff there. What do you make of... That's the end of trending topics with Cornelius Patrick O'Sullivan.
Thought you'd more, no?
No, we did 3. We did Sneachta, International Women's Day, and Gary Lineker.
Oh, yeah.
I always do 3. And we're flying through this podcast. But I have 3 questions just because, like, you know, what I was doing today then, I was looking at the news, right? I was like, you and I are always doing super serious conversations. Let's see if I can find something that's interesting or that we can... And it's all fucking doom and gloom, right? So
Were you looking on the news, like?
I was,
oh,
but
sure.
I went down to the entertainment section. No,
right.
I found a few bits, right? What do you make of Harry and fucking Meghan?
Meghan.
They're fucking gas cunts all together, are they?
Is there something new? They're not going...
They're the biggest thing with them now at the moment is they got the new daughter baptized, right?
Yeah.
And they've kept the fucking princess name of it, and they're after walking away from the whole thing. But now the whole drama is, oh, you're walking away, but your daughter's a princess, is she? But like every daughter's a princess.
Oh, right. They've kept the lineage there or whatever.
The lineage, I suppose. Is it like? Are you in, are you out? Like, do you know what I mean?
I like them.
Are you?
I
You
like
like
them.
them, do you?
I do, yeah. I do.
I don't know enough about them. Tell me, why do you like them? Because I do know why people dislike them. I do know why Harry's disliked. Well, why I think he's disliked.
I think he was liked until Meghan came in. And then
Yeah.
they didn't like Meghan. I just liked them. I suppose because I know this is the only thing, but I watched Suits, so I saw her as an actress beforehand, and I liked her as an actress. I liked her in that show.
And is that forming your real life opinion? Does that like
it impacts? Yeah. No, like I love
Kevin
bits
Spacey
on
now
her.
in Usual Suspects.
But like I would have seen stuff on her, so I knew her. What I mean is, I knew her as an actress. I knew her as a person, not just somebody coming in to marry into the royals.
Yeah,
she is a strong, independent woman. That's the thing. Like she didn't need to come into this fucking world
in love with the ginger prince.
Yeah, like she didn't need. Like she didn't need to.
She could have definitely done better, and you know she's a good-looking woman. I mean, I'm not saying anything about him, but like he hit a few of the old ugly.
He's not that bad. He's not that bad.
But he's actually better looking now than the fella that was. Than the brother.
He's better looking than William now.
When
like
I was growing up, all the girls
beautiful. Oh my god! And then his hair receded at the forehead.
Oh my god! Like, wouldn't I hate that now? Like, I'd hate if my hair was receding at the forehead.
It really made him go downhill fast.
Well, for me, I'm lucky to have a kind of a full, voluptuous head of hair, and the forehead is actually a part where the follicles like to hang out the most. Invisible.
Just in sections.
So that's kind of light and breezy. I hope the punters enjoyed that little segment. Here's another little light and breezy. This is what you think of this, right? So do you remember Jerry Ryan, the
his daughter?
No,
Lottie.
Jerry Ryan, the 2FM presenter, right?
Yeah.
So he died, right?
Of coke.
He did some coke, and I think he had a heart attack or something like
that.
Yeah. Well, he was married at the time to the Irish ambassador for South Africa. Her name is Melanie, right?
Oh yeah.
And I don't know if they were married, but they were
partner.
He
was a partner,
and they were with each other for a good
long time.
Like, you know, I mean, she was clearly devastated or whatever. But anyway, she I read an article today where she said she has made contact with Jerry.
Oh Jesus!
Right, through a medium. Right, and she has said, right, that she was extremely. Now, this woman was the fucking ambassador.
Right, yeah, but was she not into the coke as well and all that?
No, she was completely oblivious.
Well, we all know that all can be separate. We all know that we can live in a house and have two separate lives, as in Cornelius and his baking and Noelle and her not.
Yeah. Well, I could definitely do. Like, I could definitely see how you could hide coke.
Really? She's saying that she didn't know about it. Like,
no, she had no idea. She was like, that's literally it. Like,
I thought she meant that she just didn't do it with him. Like,
no, she definitely didn't do it. But what I'm trying to say to you about her is she had a serious job. She was like, she's an author now. She's like a very clever, intelligent human being, and she's saying now that she's been through a medium, right? She's been making contact with Jerry, right? And how she knows.
It's just the way you say Jerry.
Right? And how she knows that it is Jerry is because Jerry told the medium important details that nobody else could have known.
Wow.
So my question to you is, do you believe that?
I find it intriguing.
Yeah. She was going on about, she made some points that I'd agree with about the medium saying that energy, and this is a scientific fact, energy can't be created or destroyed, which is true.
Which you believe,
You know.
which is true, yeah.
So, like, you are energy, your energy is your soul. Who's to say that you're...
I suppose there's a lot we don't know. It's interesting.
Fuck all we know. Yeah.
Like, it's an interesting concept. But
you know what I find interesting about it, right?
Developing.
Do you know the way I kind of framed it there now? I framed it as if she's a little bit mad, right? But I kind of did it intentionally because I don't think she's a little bit mad. I don't know if she did now meet Jerry, right? But you just said it there yourself. There's so much we don't fucking know. And like for years people thought the world was flat, do you know?
Yeah.
You know...
It's kind of like a concept that you'd be going, oh, kind of... It's interesting. Like, I don't know, I presume we've spoken about our beliefs after death here anyway, like, you know. But it's interesting to think.
Can I ask you a question there now, right? Your dad passed away when you were 12, right?
See, I'm still taken aback by the fact your mic now is down below.
No, but I can feel it touching off my jaw like a dick.
It was touching the bottom of your I
can feel off my beard. But like, okay, so I'm looking at my levels here now. It's good, right? So your dad passed away when you were 12.
Yeah.
Like, would you ever consider trying that? Do you know what I mean? Like, if you what I'm trying to say about this woman is, she is clearly a clever, intelligent, well-read. Like, you wouldn't be going out. And Jerry Ryan.
I think if you're still mourning. Like, if you're still searching or still
death
something.
Is so sudden and such a tragedy, really.
I know, it struck the country. Yeah. Like, you know, there was people who were devastated from just listening to him every day because he wasn't just, you know, I don't think he was, I never really listened to him, but I don't think he was just a negative person on the radio. He was just somebody who spoke every day.
I listened to him a lot.
He wasn't negative. He was just another person talking. You know, the way
the Ryan line is open.
There's a lot of people, like, you know, Joe Duffy's a lot of people are complaining when they ring
Joe
in.
Duffy, give me a fucking rickety stool and a rope.
And like, there's a lot of sensationalists. Like, I listen to Red FM and I listen to Classic FM.
Yeah.
And both of them have fairly sensationalists, whatever that word is, presenters at you know, when it's...
But there's a lack of
ringing
reality.
And, yeah.
Like with Jerry... And even with Gabo back in the day, but with Jerry, and I used to listen to a lot of Jerry Ryan because he used to be on 2FM. And when I was growing up in Ireland, it was Radio 1, 2FM, Atlantic 252.
Oh, I remember that.
And
Long Wave.
And there was another one before Today FM, I can't think of what it was called. But it was only a few of them. But Jerry Ryan and he was cool. He was a cool fucking
so
guy.
I like that he had probably had a kind of decent opinion, or like a a mixed opinion, or
he was clever,
could be turned,
and he was funny, and he was interesting. And the thing about his death was he obviously had a lot of tragedy, or he had a lot of troubles because he was doing fucking a good bit of coke for a finish, and he had a banger, and to hide that, to disguise that, and then to be living the life that he was. Yeah, it's mad, but just then to be able to come back and fucking meet him after.
And then to come back nearly 15 years later and tell herself that he's all right. Lovely.
No, she is bringing out a book, so would it have anything to do with trying to get a few sales from the book?
I probably encourage.
The cynics are going to think that.
Yeah, probably.
You know?
Yeah, like when you throw that into the timing. I suppose I have seen how stuff can be manipulated from the world. You know, how you can, do stuff to make people think that stuff is happening.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I would be a bit more skeptical. But your question was, would I have any interest in it? And I don't. I've never had.
Yeah.
I think it's... I don't know if it's because Daddy was sick for 2 years and was waiting for a heart transplant, that maybe there was not that there was final... he was quite well when he died. as in he got a clean bill of health to come to Carlow, and he'd driven to Carlow, so he for the first time since he had been sick, so he was actually healthier than he had been in 2 years, but he was still waiting for a heart. But I suppose there was probably something like those 2 years were kind of like an extra 2 years, or in a way, because he'd been so sick originally, that even though it was kind of sudden, it wasn't. If someone said to you, "Oh, Jesus, this young man, yeah, he was sick, 2 years waiting for a heart." Oh, right. He was 51, I think, if I remember. Very young when you think about it. Now, as you get older, like in mom's kids were like, "Mom, you're
going to be 40 this year. Like, that'll be 11 years time you're dead." I couldn't imagine it.
Yeah.
Couldn't imagine.
Sure, you only in 6 years' time.
Yeah. Well, like, I mean, time is all relative, really, isn't it? Like, I mean, 11, 6 is the same, really.
6 kids, like 22 to 24 to 12, like,
She just put the fucking head down, though, didn't she?
No, she didn't. She went partying hard and good
but
times. But
it
was all about
the
kids.
Though, like.
It's all about us, as she said herself. She can't crumble like when you got kids,
no.
But you can. I've seen women that have crumbled. I've seen the daughters of mothers that have crumbled in similar circumstances, and it just empowers to how strong mother was after daddy died.
Yeah.
Do you can either go, there's 2 ways you can go. And you have a right to lose it as well. Like, it's a mourning. Sometimes it can, it's
and like
irrational.
Your mom, like you're the youngest. You were 11, and then there was like a load of teenagers, and then young adults as well. Like, I mean, the job was actually becoming like.
It was 12.
Like, the best time
I turned 12.
The best time to have kids, the best time to enjoy kids, in my opinion, is between the ages of 8 and 12. That's when they have their innocence, their sweetness, they're beautiful, they love you unconditionally.
Yeah, before they go.
Then they're 12 and they don't want to know you until
Excuse
they're like.
I was never a hormonal teenager.
Well, you look, fair enough if you weren't. I certainly was, and most people are. And it said, but my point actually being is, you mightn't have been right, but Carol definitely was. Bernard probably was.
No, we were never much trouble. That's my mom.
Fucking perfect.
Well, our father had died. Our father had died, so I suppose that kept us.
But you told me that Carol gave up the fucking hurling and gave up the football and took to the drink.
He was 16 or 17.
Yeah, that's actually illegal, Noel. All right, okay. Stop
that was at the normal age.
And he actually told me he was brilliant until he was 14, till he hit the drink. So
who's right? You're saying 16. He's saying 14.
Yeah. Well, he'd be prone to making a hero of himself.
Yeah.
All right. Carol,
so he was probably 18. He does
sign
listen.
Up to the Patreon, will ya? You've got plenty of money.
We'll put another we'll talk about you exclusively on the Patreon, and how much I wanted to kill you, and how we were lucky we're still talking, and yet we're very close.
It'll be a Carol exclusive episode, but you need to sign up to the Patreon. Before we go, right, this is the last thing then.
We totally went off topic there, but anyway.
But it doesn't matter. This is the last thing that I saw that I was like, okay, maybe this might add a bit of cheer into it. Right?
Or a cheery
segment. I know, yeah. We've just brought it all the way down to your dad dying. Oh, Jesus Christ, you alright? Don't go now. Okay, it'll be the first live death on the podcast.
Sorry.
Who's going to edit it?
Oh, sorry, hang on.
Before you died there, you wouldn't edit this quickly, would you? Are you alright, love?
Yeah, I just come in with my breath there.
Well, if you think that's bad, do you know what I found out today?
What?
Ronan Keating's about to be a granddad.
Oh, sure, his child. Jack is in his 20s.
Jack's the same age as Dylan.
Yeah.
It's a bit like, so I was thinking to myself, because I remember when Ronan Keating was pregnant with
Yvonne.
with Yvonne and Jack. I was like, they're like the kind of the posh version of me. And now his son is, and his girlfriend or partner or whatever are pregnant. And Ronan Keating's 46, I'm 45. I'll be 46 in a couple of weeks' time. I could be a granddad. I don't know what I would do as a granddad. But it's such a reality now. Like, it's such a thing. Because I got my hair cut there last week, and I swear to God, the fucking grey hairs.
You are ready to be a grandfather, like.
I don't want to be. I would just love.
Statistically, you're lucky to be as old as you are before you became a grandfather, right?
Considering I have a 23-year-old, all right, a 24-year-old in May. Or is he 25 in May? 24, I think. 25? Jesus Christ almighty. Quarter of a century, like, that's insane. But
You had a 4-year-old, like.
Yeah, so what am I going 46, so he'll be 25, yeah. Yeah, that's mad. That's mad. But
So you're statistically, based on your family, based on the previous generations, you're doing well to not be a grandfather by 45.
very well. Very
Fair
well.
play to you, Con.
Yeah, my mother was a grandmother in her 30s. Like, I think...
Was she?
She was, yeah. She was.
No, because that would have made she had to be in her 40s, kind of, because that would have made her in her teens when you were born.
Yeah.
What age was she when you were born?
I think she was around 13.
Stop it. You never were the best at maths. Go on, you
No, she was...
simpleton.
I think my mum was 19 when she was pregnant with me. Anyway, not that it makes any difference because it was a long time
We
ago.
are a beautiful couple now, just coughing on top
Coughing
of
and
the
spluttering.
mics.
Guys, if you enjoyed this podcast, please like, share and subscribe. Tell people about it. Tell your auntie. Ring up your auntie. Go, have you been listening to Conversations with Cornelius?
Show them how to listen to a podcast.
Show them how to listen to it. Go on to Alexa. Say, Alexa, please play Conversations with Cornelius. And it will bring it up and you'll be able to listen to the episodes.
And if that doesn't work, because it actually works for Conversations with Cornelius, but it doesn't work for all people on all Alexas or Googles. Remember, just press play on your Spotify on your phone and connect the device.
Yeah, so there you go. I don't know how to do that myself, but
he's
people aren't me, you know. But yeah, listen, thanks a million. You've been fantastic. I love the support.
Let us know if you're listening, actually, because there's a lot of listeners and we don't know.
Let us know if you're listening. Slide into the DMs and tell us what you think.
I can't believe
Or
you just said
send me
slide
a-
into the DMs.
Or send me
Who
an
the
email
fuck do you think you are?
at conosullivan@hotmail.com. No, don't. Con O'Sullivan or Cornelius.
They call
the
that a
comic at
callback,
Gmail.
a callback joke there, con.
It's called a callback, girl.
Oh yeah.
CorneliusComic@gmail.com, but like Instagram probably is the best and the easiest. Good night. God bless. I love you all. And remember.
Very importantly.
Stay in by the wall. Good luck.